One of the heaviest hitting storms in our region happened 1 year ago today when a derecho slammed through the region.
It uprooted trees and left hundreds of thousands without power for up to 8 days. And as Brian Vandegraff reports, it's a storm that for us has already gone down in history.
I got the power outage blues.
On June 29th, 2012, Robert Wheeler's power suddenly went out. It became dark and hot as a destructive storm swept over his McLean home and all across the region.
I hear what sounds like a freight train coming right for the house. And it's come so fast, I just grab the bed and hang on.
The top of a Riverdale apartment building was sheared completely off. A Poolsville barn was flattened. And in Falls Church, Bob Hoover's truck lay pancaked.
I heard a loud crack.
It wasn't a tornado, it was a derecho. A widespread, long-lived windstorm that is associated with a band of rapidly moving showers and thunderstorms.
It was debilitating. It was debilitating for everybody.
Derecho damage is typically found in one direction, along a relatively straight path. And for a storm to be deemed a derecho, it must include wind gusts of at least 58 miles per hour or greater along most of its length. And wind damage must extend for more than 240 miles.
We were 5 days without power. We lost everything in the freezer, no air conditioning. It was 95+ degrees every day.
Though many people had never heard of a derecho before, Greg Shore with the National Weather Service says it's not the first to hit D.C.
In this area, it occurs about once every two to 4 years. Back in June 4th, 2008, we had nobody even called it a derecho at the time because it was a smaller scale feature that moved from one end of our county warning area to the other.
And just last week, the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma deemed a set of morning storms passing just north of D.C. to be a low-end derecho. So we know they occur, but is there any way to predict them?
It's not trying to forecast a derecho. You're trying to forecast the potential for thunderstorms to become a line, a complex, and see how far it moves.
It snapped every single wire off the side of the house.
Now, a year after the storm, Wheeler is still singing about it.
Got the power outage blues. There ain't nothing I can do.
And says it took a while to repair all of the damage.
The tree across the street just came halfway down all over the power lines and hit this tree, and part of it hit the house.
As for other local victims, the fear of another derecho striking their homes lingers.
Hopefully, we had the worst of it last year.
So what would you do in the case that a derecho makes its way back to the metro region again? Well, it's fairly basic. You treat it like a tornado type situation. You want to go into the basement or an interior room somewhere far away from an outside wall, especially if you have large trees around your house. And if you haven't already done so, devise a safety plan for the family so you'll know what to do in case of an emergency. Brian Vandegraff, ABC7 News.
And there's plenty still to come on surviving